Hey, you want to see the Gremlin in person, or would that be in car? Well, anyway, it's going to be at the City Mopar show September 23rd, so don't miss it. If you want to meet the Gremlin and the entire EE Speed staff, oh, well, that's just me, but you can meet me. Hey, I know I'm not near as cool as the Gremlin, but you can meet me, you can see the Gremlin in person, in car, in steel, whatever. You'll get to see the Gremlin. You can touch it. You can sit in it. I don't care. Sit in it. She's still smoking. I doubt I'll get that fixed before the show, but we're just going to trailer queen her up there because she don't smoke unless you get on it. And so we're going to go ahead and bring her up there so y'all can look at her, everybody else can look at her. And if you're trying to find me, I'll be the guy walking around with a camera. I'll also bring in some parts up there for the swap meet as well, but I'm not trying to make money off you. I just want you to come and say, hey, I watch your channel, you know what I mean? And I'll be like, well, way cool, you know what I mean? But you'll be able to see the Gremlin, get to sit in it. If you got kids, have them come and, if they like the Gremlin, that'd be awesome. Anyway, Music City Mopar show. It is in Lebanon, Tennessee. It will be September 23rd, 2023. Don't miss it. Okay. Let's see. Hey there everybody in YouTube land, me again. Today is going to be a will it run day. I promised you this, right? I did. This car behind me. It's Dodge Aspen, 78 or 9. I think from what I understand it's been 10 or 12 years since it's run. It's a buddy of mine's. And he's been in the military, and he had it stuffed in his shop, and there it sat while he was overseas and doing the things that Marines do. So today he sold his shop. He's moved to another state, and by the way, hey Billy, he's become a subscriber, so I have to make sure I do some work on this thing because he's going to be watching the channel just to keep an eye on his car. So I got he's a Marine. We don't mess with Marines, right? So anyway, plus he's a good friend of mine, I want to treat him right. But nonetheless, this car hasn't run in a very long time. And I remember working on this car years ago, and there's some funny stories maybe I'll tell you along the way. And don't be mad, Billy, because, they're funny stories. But we're going to try to get this car running today so I can move it around. That's the biggest issue. It ran when he parked it. It should run. I don't think it's going to be too big a deal. But you never know. Cars that have been sitting, and I don't even know if it's got a mechanical or an electric pump. I don't know anything about it. I don't remember. It's been years since I've touched this car, but we got a lot of work to do on it, and I'm going to do a little quick walk around on it. I'm going to do one while it's on the trailer, just simply because there's some things that you can see easier and better while it's on the trailer and outside. And I don't like doing outside because when the wind blows it messes up the audio and all that good stuff. I'm going to do a quick walk around on some of the things we have to do on it. Then once I get it off the trailer, we'll do another walk around and kind of see what we've got, what we don't have, what we may need, and then we'll go from there. And you might even, if we're lucky, not today obviously because he's at home, but maybe sometime along the build on this car. We're going to do an entire build on this car. So hopefully sometime during this build you'll actually get to meet Billy, and because he's going to come help on it. He said he wants to do a little wrench turning with me on it when he gets a chance. So hopefully that'll be a good treat for you all. Get to meet him. Great guy. And I'm not just saying that because he's a subscriber, okay? But this is actually a really cool car. I like it. I've got a few of them here. I actually had one I wanted to restore, but it didn't work out that way. I was looking at a wagon not too long ago because I like the wagons. It's just, I've got too many projects, in case y'all haven't noticed. And I keep getting more. So, yeah, I need another car like, you know what I'm saying? But anyhow, I'm going to take you a little quick walkthrough. Check this car out. Y'all can send me some thumbs up if you like these cars. They're the F-body Mopar. Kind of right now, it was the later model B bodies that were kind of the redheaded stepchildren of Mopar, but those are becoming more popular now. So now it's their turn. They're still the redheaded stepchild, but give it a few years and they'll start catching on too. I actually like them, always have. A buddy of mine back when I was a kid, back in the 80s, had a Roadrunner, like a 70-something Roadrunner, Aspen Roadrunner, or I guess Volare Roadrunner. And I liked that car. It was pretty. It wasn't real fast, but it was pretty. And you can always, fast you can make happen, right? And this car, we've done a lot to it to make it go fast, so with a little tuning and stuff, we'll probably get on that eventually. I think we were talking about putting a rear end in it, and there's a lot of stuff he wants to do to this car. But we're going to take one step at a time, one project on this car at a time. The first thing's going to get it running, and then I think we're going to be looking at some body work. I think that's what he wanted to do next, and then we'll just keep pecking at it as we go, little by little, one step at a time. So anyway, let's get started on the walk around, and so far for right now, thank you for watching. This is probably where we're going to start as far as the body work goes. Not today, but this is going on later. At first I looked at this car and I said, well, this doesn't have too much ick, but I was wrong. If you'll notice, we got a nice body line right along here. And it kind of ends right here, and it just gets flat. And then it's wavy, and then the body line starts back up around here. Then if you come on down to this end, okay, yeah, that you know, probably needs a little work. Sounds kind of putty-ish in there. We're getting into metal up in here. Metal, metal, metal. That's metal down to there, so we're good there. Looks like that's metal. We're just kind of coming through a little bit here. This is a cool one with the louvers, right? Louvers are cool. We've got some. This is usually lead from the factory. They will fill that with a lead or a tin. And nowadays, there's really not a lot of point in using lead. We may still. Going to need a new one of these. I think I got one of those hanging around the yard. Might need a taillight. You know, this one's cracks me up. Okay, bad joke. Anyway, a little bit ugly here, but not too bad. I think that's just metal. Starting to come through here, but I think that's all metal right there. This wheel well doesn't look bad. This one, we might be okay with that one. That's definitely all metal. Got a little coming through right there. But that's not bad. So we're really kind of looking at 1/4. Fenders don't look too terrible. Oh yeah, that's all metal. Oh yeah, that's all metal. So we're good there, right? We're good. And when I get this car down, it's kind of hard to see right now, but he built his own grill, and it really, I think, looks cool. Got a little bit ugly here. Starting right here, got to take care of that before it gets worse. But not too bad, really. Not bad at all. I love the way Dodge just kind of like stuck taillights on the outside of the car. No bezel, no nothing. Just stick it on there. Don't worry about it. That's just so weird. Remember the bumper jacks? Yeah. Jack it up and hope it doesn't fall on you. So really, I think we're just looking at replacing this quarter, and I know it's oh yeah, I don't know if I can show you this, but I just happen to have one of these here, and it would be the passenger side, right? So yeah, we may or may not be able to get to see that. I have to get out the weed whacker. Oh no, I think that one's got a little ugly on it. Well, we'll see. I think I've got another one too. We've got a couple of these cars back here. Because that one looks dented. Well, check this one out. Oh yeah, look at this one. Woo, baby. Same year, I think. And look, same crazy tail lights. But look at that recorder, huh? Write home about that one to Mama. That will work just fine and dapper dandy. So anyway, okay, we'll go back to this car over here. Alright, let's see if we can get this open. Oh yeah, clears the trailer. Oh, look it, we got a new carburetor just sitting there on the floor. This car is cool, I'm telling you. That's kind of ugly, but I might have to go to the other side to see all the cool stuff. But we got a bunch of parts in here. Stuff, just stuff. Cool seats, nice seats. We'll get a better look at all that stuff later. Lots of mold. This is what happens, even in a shop, even though it's been sitting in a shop. Look at all the mold attacking the interior. We'll get that off of there too. I might let him do that stuff. But let's go to the other side, see if we can get a little better look at that dashboard. Here's the driver's side. Something tells me that those are in the wrong place. Could be. Again, here's those seats. Those are very nice seats, very cool. Got a lot of mold on them. We'll get rid of that. Got an old school wood steering wheel and a sheet metal dash. That's kind of cool, right? I don't know about those pedals. Batman pedals? I don't know what those are. But they look like they'd inhibit the hitting it to the floor kind of situation, but it is what it is. Held in by a hose clamp. Man, I don't think I'm liking that idea. But anyway, that's what we're up against, folks. Very cool Hurst shifter. Very, very cool. And we'll zoom in on that, right? We've got to zoom in. There we go. Some gauges. Some sound. Very, very cool car. Just needs a little love and care. Alrighty. I got it in the shop. Rolled it off the trailer. I was going to show you all that, and I said, well, you know, they've seen that before. And if you haven't, well, you'll have to watch more of my videos. But let's go see if we got keys for this thing. Oh, yeah, we do. Let's see. Is that? Looks like a trunk key. Mopar. Everything's upside down. Weird. They just got to be different. Ooh. Goodies. What do we got here? We got a spare brain box here. It looks a brandy new. We got, well, I forget what these things are called, but there's, you clamp them onto sheet metal and you got stuff to screw to. Nuts thingies. Regulator. Hey, I need one of those. I think that's one of those paint your car with a spray can trigger thingies. Alright. Christmas lights. Woo! We gotta have Christmas lights. And that is what they are. Okay, well, maybe just for fun. I don't know, it won't be a surprise because he's probably watching. I was gonna say I'll deck his car out with Christmas lights and see what he thinks. But anyway. Some bolts to do something with. Let's see. Well, that's the inner part of a spacer plate. I don't know where the outside piece went. And here's a spacer plate. Ooh, that one's seen better days. And a funnel, sort of. Sure. Oh, hey, it's a quick release bit holder. We might use that. Make sure I put his name on it so that, make sure he gets it back. Oh, more tools. Look at this. This car came equipped with tools to work on it. Look at that. We got colored bits. Just in case, you're like me and can't see the sizes. In case I want to take up smoking, maybe I should give it to the Gremlin. Okay, bad joke. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, we got wood. What the heck is that? Well, it's a multi-ratcheting, multi-size wrench, I guess. Great idea, but where the heck are you gonna fit that into? It's huge. But anyway, okay, so we got that. We don't need that. Oh, can always use a magnet. Yep, that works. Oh, yeah. More bits. I think he anticipates me losing things. First one to get lost right here. Alright, let's put that all back in here. Alright. Okay. Anything else in here? Got a license plate in case we decide to take it for a ride. Sure. Yep. Sure. Okay then. Diagnostic connector. What if we hook to that if it would tell me anything? Alright. Oh, we got a jack holder handle thingy mabobby. And these. I'm holding this thing making my nose run. And we got antifreeze. We got brake fluid. That's never a good sign. And what the? Is that a phone? What is that? I think it's a phone. Ugh. Goo all over it, whatever it is. Oh! I hope that doesn't mean that the engine doesn't have a cylinder head on it, because, you know, that's not looking good. Is this the other one? Yep. J-heads. Wow. That's actually a halfway decent head right there. Might have to trade old Billy out of that one. Alright, let's see. Because those J-heads came on 340s as well. Got a fan. We got a Master Blaster coil. More toolage. It's a sensor thingamabobby. Socket taker outer. Things for your electric fan. That's what hooks the fan to the radiator so that it can damage the radiator later. Window roller. That's not a good sign. Ball joint. Is that the new one or the old one? That looks like a new one. So that means the front end's probably going to need a little help. And some tape and a hose clamp. Okay. Well, now y'all are probably in the same place I am, wondering. Oh, don't forget our magnet. Oh. Alright. Enough of that. Okay, let's go to the place to tell all if this is going to run today or not. I pulled the lever on the inside and it didn't do anything. Maybe that's why. It's got hook pins. Okay. No hood hinges. Where'd they go? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this will work. This is a. You know what this is? Yeah. For those of you who are not educated in those, kind of short though, educated in the ways of antique cars, this is a throttle lever for a Model T. It's kind of short. I need something longer maybe. So let me scour the shop and see if I can't find something a little bit longer. Well, we got the hood like way up now, borrowed on the wife's car so that we could hold the hood up. So she's not going to be needing this for a little while. So she's not going to town anytime soon. Don't tell her I said that. You can. I do it to her all the time. Alright, so this, let me bring you in here, because this does not look good. You can probably see it a little bit, but we're going to get a little closer up. I don't know about you all, but this doesn't look good to me. Got a mouse house and a wet towel. Oh my goodness. Everything is soaked and wet. Top of this carburetor is just super, super wet. There's antifreeze. There's an antifreeze pool in the intake. Oh boy. This is just, looks like the mice have had a heyday in here. I think I'd be afraid to start it up. What's that? What the heck? What the? Okay, sure. Whatever. Because everything's so wet. The electronics are so... Nah, the distributor looks good. It's dry. But the box, the brain box, you guys. And I don't know what all that antifreeze just sitting in the intake is all about. I'm going to have to get looking down in there and see if any water has gotten down inside that carburetor. Because condensation can just steadily drip into there and just fill her up, you know. Geez, wheezy. No battery? Well, that's always good. So the first thing we need is a battery. And I just happen to have one that I stole out of my tractor because the starter went bad. And that'll be another video. We'll put a starter in the old tractor. But we got serpentine action going on here, so that's kind of cool. Nice, but not so nice. I don't know what he did with that towel or why that was there. Got a open PVC system. Well, PCD, excuse me. PVC is plastic pipe. See what the oil looks like. Oh, that's not too bad. Smells like oil. Don't see any water in it. That's a good sign. Let me get a flashlight, look down her throat, and see if we got tonsils or not. If there's water on the tonsils, well, then we're going to have to pull plugs and crank it a couple of times. Try to get the water out of it, and then we'll see if we can't fire it up. Let's start by looking down her throat and see what we got. Oh, I'm slightly vertically challenged here. Well, I don't see any water. The good thing about a newer carburetor is the butterflies tend to fit tight. And if there is water in there, it will usually pool right there on the throttles. And I need glasses. Here we go. It's right here next to me. Alright, so... Oh no, but I think those are slightly cracked. Can you just stay open so I can see in here? Come on, stay right there. Right there, okay. There we go. Well, it looks okay. We'll get a battery and just give it a... Oh, we got a little valve action going on here for the heater. Alright. Air gap. Looks more like water gap. There's a pool in there. Okay, let's give it just a touch of the old... Oh, got just a minor vacuum leak here. Just a piece of hose sticking straight up. It's wide open. So that will definitely help it run better. No, not really. So let's get something to plug that up. What do we got open back? Oh, we're plugged up back here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. That's gonna make the brakes work good, for sure. My guess is that this hose needs to go on this hose. That would help. And the brakes might actually work. Oh, well. Got wires just hanging everywhere. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, let's go ahead and plug this off just for kicks and giggles. And then we'll worry about getting a hose to do a permanent fix on that. Put a battery in it and just touch her off. See where we're at. Alright, let's see, which way is this going to go in? Positive this way. Yes, I'm positive. Alright, sticker on here. Negatory. Negatory. Anything, see? Any fire? Ooh. Smell smoke. Of course, I can't smell anything with my nose being all snuffed up with allergies. Nope. Leave it on there for a minute or so while I go get something another to stick in that piece of hose over there. I don't know if you can. Yeah, I think you can see it from here now. If you look just over there, right behind the carburetor. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Oop, have to do some adjusting. There we go. Zoom some more. Zoom, 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 zoom. You will see, right here. Well, that's the brake. That's not doing anything. But this is the hose, right here. That is just wide open off the intake. So that's not gonna help. Still don't smell anything burning, so far so good. So let's get something to plug that vacuum leak and we'll see if this thing will just touch over. Got an air cleaner bolt for a Corvette, for Crossfire Corvette. I wonder where I'd get one of those. I'm just going to stick it in there now, just to stop the vacuum leak. Now, oh gosh, there's just stuff unplugged everywhere. How many think this thing's just going to fire up? Yeah, well, we're not going to try to fire it right now. I'm just going to see if it'll touch over. See if our starter's healthy, see if the engine will turn. It looks like she's got a mechanical pump. If everything looks good, then we'll go ahead and throw a little fire juice down in there and see if she'll start up. But let's just touch it right now. I don't know what I do with the keys. Helps to, put the key in the ignition. No, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Oh, I think I left them sticking out of the trunk. Found me some keys. Alright, I'm a little nervous about hitting the ignition on this thing. I don't know what the transmission's doing, nothing. Can you hear me now? Alright, let's just see if she'll turn over. Oh! Well, okay. Alright, well, yeah, that works. Okay, well, that's promising. It did turn over rather nicely. Sounded healthy. It actually sounded really good. So now, I guess we're going to spray a little fire water down the throat of this thing. Hope to God it's in park. If He's got. I better double check him and see if he's got reverse valve body. I'm gonna throw a little fire water down her neck. Let's open her up. Oh, you just can't win. All right. And we'll give her a whir, see if it'll crank. The drive shaft is disconnected. So the worst that's going to happen is the drive shaft's going to flop around. So here we go, ready? Alright. Alright. She's no fire. So, I know we don't have fuel, but I did attempt to put some juice down in there. We'll try this one more time. This is not the best. I might try throwing a little gasoline in there. Sometimes they'll start on fuel and not on ether, which I know that's weird, but okay. I'm guessing probably with all that water that she ain't sparking. I've got my little seer spark deal here. I'm just going to pull one of these, maybe this one, pull number 2 because it's easier to get to. And if I had 2 people, I could just use a screwdriver and arc it somewhere, but I don't have 2 people. So we're going to use that. Now you tell me if you can see it sparking, because I may not be able to from where I'm standing. Yep, I need to be in 2 places at one time. Well, that's not going to happen. Okay. Well, let's do my best, shall we? Oh, well, I think I can see it if I, stretch my neck like an ostrich. So I can see to about here. So maybe, just maybe, if I can get this over this way enough. Come on now. Oh, for crying out loud. Took the hood off. Alright, well you may have seen that, but I didn't. So, there's more than one way to skin a kitten. I'm going to put a timing light on it, and if the timing light flashes, I know I'm getting sparked. Alright, I got an inductive clip for the timing light. Just going to stick it on that wire, and then I can drag the timing light around the corner with me. If I could get to the starter, if I can get this thing on a lift, we could make life a lot easier. But I don't have any lifts available at the moment. But I can hook my do it by yourself button and figure out if I can turn it that way. So, but anyway, I've got my timing light hooked up. Let's crank it. Yep. No sparking. She ain't a sparking. Surprise, surprise. So why is she not sparking? Well, we have 395 reasons it might not be sparking, because instead of a nice, simple, basic, hook me up distributor, we got all of this stuff. We got MSDs and DS2s and VCRs and CDBs and, stuff everywhere. Most of the time, this is your culprit, but I've had them where this is the culprit. I'm not even seeing Let me go turn the ignition on and see if we even have a red light to ignite my MSD. Let's try that. Oh, I do have a light. That I can see from here. So, the MSD is lighting up. Let's go ahead and hook to my coil. This could be. Sometimes these don't have a good ground, and that'll do it. Yay. Oh, we got a fuse. Let's see if the fuse is blown. Could be. Looks it's wet. That's helpful. Let's get the fuse. Glasses, please. Fuse is not blown. But it does have condensation inside of it, so that's not good. Oof. What the heck? That looks terrible. It's got melted. Heavens to Murgatroyd, Batman. I don't know if I can even get it back in. It's got melted plastic all in it. Can you guys see that? Probably barely zoom you in on what I'm working on over there. We have a fusible link right here, and I pulled the fuse out, but there is gobbledygook. Basically looks like melted plastic stopping me from actually getting this fuse back in. So I still got the ignition on. I'm going to get a test light, and I'm going to see if we've got power on both sides of that fuse. I'd say this ground right here is probably pretty good, since it's hopefully grounding everything. We don't have any power there. We don't have any power there. We got power there. Where's that going? The white wire is going into this harness. There it goes. Well, it's bringing power. Then it's going to bring sending power to this black, oh my goodness, this black wire and a red wire. Where's that going? This is not good. Got relays. Most of this harness is open, so we don't have to worry about messing that up. There we go. Lee Sergeant Carter. Alright, so this red wire connected to the blue wires, connected to the orange wires, connected to the red wire. This isn't connected to anything. Nope. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to do some wire tracing. I don't know if that'd be very... I've always found wiring type things on YouTube fairly boring. So I'm not going to bore you with this one. But I'm going to trace some of these wires, see if I got heat going to my, well, duh. Let's check the coil first of all. Let's see if we got heat going to the positive side of the coil. Alright, will it reach? Of course not. So let's find a, there we go, that'll work. And we got nothing going to the coil. That's the positive side. The negative side should be going to, it's going to the MSD, it looks like. But I've got no power coming to my coil, and I've got the ignition on right now. So let's make sure I got, yep, it's a good ground. So no power to the coil, that's my problem. Let's see if we can't hot wire it by just throwing some juice to the coil and see if that'll get us fired up. I know I have power to this little junction right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip onto the positive side of my coil, and I'm going to clip onto this hot wire, and we're going to try it. Let's see if we got sparkage now. You know, still no spark, even though I'm hot to the coil. Nope. Let's make sure I am getting spark or getting heat to the coil. I've still got my test light over here. I should be getting, yep, I got heat to the coil now. Oh, and I'm also getting smoke. Woo. Not good. Something's burned up. Great. Usually in cases like this, I will bypass all of the electronics. And unfortunately with this, it's an electronic. That was getting warm too. That may be the problem. It may be this box here. I'm probably going to disconnect all of the MSD and just try to get this thing fully functional on its own. So we'll have to test the coil. So let's disconnect my battery. I doubt the coil's bad. Coils almost never go bad. It's probably this little box here, because it's definitely, it's warm now. I've still got the ignition on. Let me go shut it off. I know y'all are going to find this hard to believe, but I'm reading directions. I found the MSD instructions in the trunk. I've tested. I've got no heat going to the orange wire, which is the coil wire. I do have heat or power going to the wire on the MSD ignition that is supposed to be powering the oh, wait a minute, no, scratch that, because this wire, no, that is it, okay. This little red wire coming out of the MSD is supposed to go to, go to 12 volts. Well, I've got 12 volts right here. Where is it? Where it goes? I had to take all that junk apart. All right, and it's saying to check the spark. It says to pull the coil wire off of the distributor, which I have done. And then it says set it a ½ inch from a ground. Here we go. It's actually touching the ground right now, but we'll ½ inch it in a minute. All right. Disconnect the MSD white trigger wire from the distributor. The white trigger wire from the distributor. Where the heck is that? I don't see any wires coming from the distributor. Yep, there's nothing that I can see. I'll have to go over the other side and see if we can find the white wire. I found another vacuum leak too, by the way. Well, let's come on over here. See if I can find the wiring coming out of this distributor. No, I don't see nothing. What's all this down here? Oh, it's in a hey! I may have found the problem. What the Jack Criminy? Well, here's the wiring coming out of the distributor, sitting in a puddle, and it's not connected to anything. Well, so that may be an easy fix. I am going to do my best assist to explain this to you. Right here, which you can't see, so let's adjust. Right here, okay. You can probably bear, oh, great, I just dropped it. And it goes right in the water because that's the best place for it. But right here, there's a little black, okay, you can see it with my hand. There's a little black connector. Okay, I'm going to jam it up in here so it doesn't go into the water again because it's trying to get it dried out. And I dropped it. Okay, so there's a little connector right there. Alright, we're going to jam her up in here. There, good, okay, not going, oh, maybe not. Stay! Okay, staying. And it's supposed to be connected to another little black connector, which I've been searching for the last, 20 minutes, half an hour. And I found it. Right here. And I don't know if you can see a problem, but this doesn't reach that. And the funny thing is the MSD booklet says to disconnect the white wire going to the distributor. And here's the white wire over here. And it doesn't even go to the distributor. It goes, I don't even know. Right here. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. It goes nowhere. It just goes somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if this is it or not. I don't think it is. But there's a white wire here that goes into this harness and doesn't come out anywhere that I can see. No, doesn't come out anywhere. So I don't know if this is it or not without taking everything apart. But nonetheless, it's just to disconnect that to check the spark. And we may get there. But in the meantime, I got to plug this into that. My thoughts are he has never had this running. There's no way, because it's just not happening. So what I'm going to do, I've got to do one of two things. I've either got to cut these two wires and lengthen them so they'll go to that, or cut those two wires and lengthen them to come to this. Either way, I'm cutting into a harness. Can anybody tell me why they did this? I mean, this is stupid. What's this, a 10-inch, 8-inch, 9-inch, 10-inch wire? And it's got to go all the way to the distributor? I suppose you're supposed to put your box maybe right here, closer. I don't know, maybe they don't want you to have it that far away. But I didn't mount it. And there really isn't anywhere to mount it. I mean, there is sort of, kind of, but not really. I mean, you could put it there, but not really. You got water lines going. I mean, that's not practical. This is stupid. But evidently this car has never run with this ignition system. I don't see how. Unless there's an extension somewhere. I'll go look in the trunk, see if I can find an extension, and if not, I'll just make one. Well, we got this red wire. It's not going anywhere either. Okay. I'm curious as heck where this white wire goes that I'm supposed to disconnect to test the spark. We'll have to take this whole harness apart to find out, I reckon. Just for curiosity, let's go ahead and pull this part of the harness out. I think if I pull this tape off right here, it's going to get me some exposure. Oh, there it is. I see a white wire, I think. Well, no, because the white wire is inside this harness. Oh, there it is. Oh, and then it comes back. So this is it. This wire is it. Yep. And it goes nowhere. Great. Okay. Alright, let's see if I can find an extension cord, shall we say, and if not, we'll make one. Well, I got a green and a purple wire. I'm going to need my spectacles for this, I'm sure, because I can't see the broadside of the barn. I couldn't find my good ones, but these work. I've got like 10 pairs of these rear strippers. I'm just going to strip the ends. Okay, that was the wrong one. Some guys make this stuff. What the heck? Okay, maybe these don't work. I don't know. There we go. That worked. Ish. Alright. I always tend to strip off more than I need. Because that's just my way. My good ones would strip this off without even thinking about it. Boy, that's just, these are being difficult. There we go. Okay. Jeepers crap. Alright. That blows my mind. Here I am thinking this thing was running when it was parked. And evidently not. There's no way this thing was running with that distributor not plugged in. The good thing about it, I hope, is that maybe nothing's blown. Except for I did try to hot wire that coil. That may have cooked the little brain box, but we'll see. Well, that one came out okay. Alright. Now, I'm going to put one side. These are not the best connectors to use. I really don't recommend using these. But right at this moment, we are trying to get this thing to run. Once we get it running, we're going to go through a whole lot of other stuff to make things right. But right now, getting it running is first and foremost. These are the best in the whole world. Well, I don't know about this brand, but this is the best tool for doing this because it's got a red, a blue, and yeller. Yeller is the proper way to say it. People say old yellow, right? It's old yeller, okay? So, yeller. Y'all need to learn how to speak proper English. Anyhow, you put it in the blue side because it's a blue connector. And you just stick her in there. And you just crimp it down till it is willing to come back open. And then there you go. You got yourself a good connector. Now we got to do the other side because we got to do two sides. And I only brought two connectors. I gotta go get me another one. I need four total. Keep forgetting how I'm doing this, but I'll remember along the way. Again, blue on blue. Crimp it till it's willing to open. Makes a nice little squeeze connector there. Again, not the best idea when it comes to connectors because soldering these would be the best way, and we may go to that But as you saw, the wiring in this thing is pretty atrocious anyway, so this ain't gonna make it no worse, that's for sure. Okay, so let me go get a couple of more connectors. We'll take care of that, and then we're gonna splice into the harness, and I'll let you watch that. As much as I hate to do this, we're gonna have to peel this back a little. I want to give myself plenty of room here. So I'm going to cut this little black sheath back. I'm going to mess up the prettiness of this MSD doodah. This is a good way to cut your hand. And don't think I haven't done it. There we go. Just cut back that sheath a little bit. You don't have to go too far. We'll just stop it right there. Alright. Now I want to give myself ample working real estate here, so we're going to cut this wire right about in half here. Alright. And that gives me ample room to get my tool in here and strip these wires. Go. And then also I can get at these, do the same thing. Sometimes I gotta check the camera to make sure all this is coming through. I've sat there explaining stuff to people and realized that the camera's not even on what I'm doing. So we want to check on the camera every once in a while. Now it's gonna obviously be easier to hook. Now you'll notice this green and purple, right? That's why I went with green and purple wire. It's always best to keep the color codes the same if you can. Now the funny thing is on the distributor it changes. I think it's, let me take a look, see where my light go. On the distributor it's 2 black wires. It just goes 2 black. So the fact that these are, well, let's do this just to make sure. Let's make sure this does plug in. And you know what? It don't. So that ain't the wire. Well, that's strange. I thought for sure maybe it was. But it's not. Don't even go that way. Glad I decided to check that before I went through all that. So I cut this for nothing. That's not it. So we're back to search. Oh, it is. Wait, that is a purple and a black wire. That's kind of weird. That's got to be it. I'm doing something wrong. Well, for one, those prongs are bent in there. Oh, and they straighten out. Wow. Wow, this is unbelievable. I don't know if this is the right one now or not, but it's definitely... Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, it does go on. Okay. I'm not crazy. You have to see the prongs are actually moving inside that connector and making it difficult to plug it in. My goodness. This is not an ideal situation by any means, but this is the plug. So we're going to do this. Get my blue on blue. Oh, it's purple. Almost put purple back to purple. Alright. Now we got our green. Sometimes it's better to get the crimper on the wire, on the connector first, and then put your connector in there. But there we go. Those two are connected. Alright, now let's go ahead and hook them up here, green to green, purple to purple. And there we go. Now we'll just plug it in over here. It's I kind of made them a little bit longer than I needed to, so I could route them in a more nicer way, shall we say. But I'm probably just going to run them in this loom here. So I'm going to run them along the same line as that loom. And I'm going to actually plug them in up here because I don't want this falling into the water. So I'm going to plug it in right here if I can get to it. Alright. You got to wiggle them to get them in. But there we go. I think I've got it done. Just for now, it's just hanging in and out with the rest of the wiring. But we're just going to see if it'll help it to start. You keep your eyes on that. And I'm going to keep my eyes on the timing light. We're going to see if we now have a spark. I'm going to take that as a yes. Did you see the spark here? Because if you didn't, it doesn't really matter. Because it obviously is sparking. Wow. Okay. Amazing. Yeah. Well, anyway. Well, with that being the case, it's might run. Pretty sure it's going to run. Whew. That kind of scared me. Did it scare you? I was waiting to see a spark. And boom. It's like, okay, she's going to run. All right. So that's good. Praise God. We got that finished. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to have some lunch with the wife, and I think she wants to go out and about, so I don't know if I'm going to have to give her her car back, but, she can take one of the other ones. But yeah, so obviously it's going to run. Now all I've got to do, I do have a vacuum leak I got to fix. I've got to hook up the drive shaft because it's not hooked up yet, and then we'll see if it'll move. I'm going to have to jack it up and crawl under it the old-fashioned way because both lifts are boogered up, and hopefully once I got this running, I'm going to get it back out. Believe it or not, this is take 3 of this I'm going to lunch speech. For whatever, I think I forgot to hit the record button on the last one. But just to reiterate a minute, because I've actually done several things since then. Did you see the spark? Me either. Because it just scared me. It was like, woo! It was cool though. I was like, whoa, I just touched that key and this thing just fired right up. So evidently, I could be wrong, but I'm going to say it might run. So that actually startled me, but I'm happy. I'm very happy. Obviously, that was the problem. Woohoo! I didn't fry nothing when I was trying to jump it out. But it's lunchtime. The wife came in and she goes, you're going to eat lunch because she wanted to spend a little time with me and eat lunch. I'm not going to argue with that, right? So I'm going to go spend a little bit of time with the wife and eat some lunch. we'll come back out. I'm going to hook up the drive shaft, and that way we can see if it'll move, because I noticed that while I was under there that the drive shaft is not hooked up. And we'll see if she'll move. If she does, then we are done for today. I'm not going to try to tune it. I'm not going to try to get performance out of it. I'm not even going to take it for a burnout. No, I'm not going to do it. Well, no, not going to do it. No. Anyhow, the idea was just to get it running so I can move it around. Get it around the shop, move it in and out, keep it secure. I've got to get this other car off of the lift. I need to get another car off of that lift so that I can put the Gremlin on it and start its engine swap. We got lots of projects going on, so this running was very important so that I can move it around. But we're going to continue to work on this one. I believe I'm going to give him a call, but I do believe he said he wanted to start on the bodywork. So once we've got this running and moving and I can move it around, we're going to start on the bodywork. We're going to start on that one rear quarter that I showed you at the beginning. The rest of this car doesn't look too bad, so it's just going to be a matter of sanding and block sanding and trying to find my lumps, my lumps and divots, fill those in, fix those. But for right now, that one rear quarter, she's kind of shazoo, so we're going to definitely start working on it. I think that's our first course of events after getting her running. I'm very, very happy to hear that thing fire up, because I really did not want to spend an entire weekend just trying to rewire this thing just to get it to fire. But so that works out great. I'm going to have to move the seat, like 3 or 4 miles forward, because Billy's a big boy. And so, his legs are about the same length as my whole body. Well, maybe he's not quite that big, but he's a big boy. But yeah, I've sat in the seat, I'm like, yeah, I can't reach the pedals. So I'm going to have to move the seat forward. I think that'll be no problem. But anyway, going to lunch. I'll see you all in a few minutes. I absolutely hate working underneath a car without a lift. It's cramped. I've got this thing jacked way up in the air too. But I'm just going to take the... Golly, what size is this? I'm going to take these off and hook up the drive shaft, which has been sitting here held up by coat hangers. I went ahead and cut them out of the way. So I figured, well, it is what it is. I got to do what I got to do. So we're just going to take these loose, throw the drive shaft in here. It's a lot easier to get good camera angles too when you're on a lift. I guess I'm just spoiled, right? Getting old, decided I want to use a lift instead of laying on my back doing everything with all the crud falling in my eyeballs. I guess after 50 years of playing with cars, well, 45 anyway, you deserve a little luxury, right? But when you have too many cars, like some people I know, and too many of them are broken at one time, like somebody I know, you don't have much choice but to work on the ground again. I'm a product of my own hoarding. So I'm trying to help out my buddy and do his car, and I'm having to do it primitive because I don't have a lift I can use. So anyway, now where'd that drive shaft go? It's right. Uh-oh. Still wired up somehow, some way. Where is the wiring? I don't see any. What the heck? I think I removed all the wiring. All the coat hangers. There's still something on it. Oh, there it is. Okay. I can't see it from where I'm at, but I sure can feel it. Yeah, he did a good job. It's up there. I just got my Leatherman out. There we go. Oh, nope. Can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Now will it go? Oh yeah. Oh great, the caps are gone. Fantastic, wonderful. Oh yeah. Neither cap is there. Well, oh, and she's in gear, so I can't turn it either. Now let me see if I can find the caps in the trunk. If not, let me see if I can find some somewhere. This is a pretty common size, it looks like, so I might be able to steal some off another joint. Oops, I forgot to put the car in park. I mean in neutral. Those look like they fit. Yep, they sure do. Well, uh-oh, it's falling off. Okay. Come on. Alrighty. It's gonna fall off though. They're probably gonna fall off and end up on the ground, but I gotta go put the car in neutral. Yep. Exactly what I thought was gonna happen. And sure enough, the cap fell off. Alright. And now it turns though. So we're just gonna bring it up here. Ow! Pinch the fingers. Come on now. This one don't want to go. It's the same. I wonder if the rear end will turn. It should. It's not touching anything. Oops. Oh man. Oh, I think I have the emergency brake on, so let me go take that back off. Alright, we got that one in. Let's see if we can turn the wheel and get this one in. Oh no, maybe these caps are going to be too big. Yep. Yeah, they're going to be too wide. So even though they are the right diameter, they're not going to be right to fit in the... Come on. Man, oh man, there we go. Oh, got stuff in my eyes, that's always great. Because they gotta go, there's clips on here, and those clips have to go inside of here, because there's, let's see if, oops, let's see. Yeah, see, this doesn't have a clip to maintain it inside of the, so it has to go like so. And this U-joint isn't going to let it do that. Although it looks like it would. No, for crying out loud. It doesn't want to play nice. It really looks like it would. Let's turn this sideways so that we don't have to wrestle with all that crap. It may go. Let me get a light so I can kind of see what's going on here. I mean, we're talking minuscule amendment.
Maybe we just need a hammer, a bigger hammer. Let me see, we'll get a light and a hammer. It looks like it'll go. We just gotta kind of crank it in there a little bit. It looks like it should go if I keep it like right there. Maybe I can draw it in with the bolts. It don't look like I'm going to be able to do that because I think you need to get in there. Yeah, she needs to go in a little bit further before the bolts will work. So, where'd that hammer go? Okay. This is what I love about working up underneath the cars without a lift. What the heck is that? Now, see, she wants to go in too far. So, yeah, we're going to have to get different caps, I guess. That's not going to work. Well, I won't be doing any big smoky burnouts, but just to get this thing to move, we're just going to put these caps on without the clips, because this is the wrong U-joint. Now I understand why he didn't have the drive shaft in, because he probably didn't realize that he needs a different U-joint. I don't know if I think this was an engine swap over time. I don't remember. So what we have to do, if it's an engine swap, we're going to have to get what we call a bastard joint. You saw me do that with the Gremlin. So basically it's a joint with two different sizes on each corner. And that'll be fine. And when this doesn't want to go in, how come? Not cooperating at all. Golly, so Sergeant Carter. Just doesn't want to play. There we go. That's one of them anyway. So we'll just tighten these down real good. Some people put a little tack on there to put a little tack weld on there to keep them in. They want to use, because you technically could get away with this joint if you just put a little nib on either the rear end or on one of these straps. All you need is a tiny little doohickey to keep everything from flying south for the winter. But for now, we're just going to tighten these bad boys up. I know for a fact that it'll stay in for quite some time. Don't ask me how I know. I may or may not have put these in improperly once or twice. At least once. And driven, you know, a mile or two or 3 or 50 or 100 with them on wrong. And then they kept throwing drive shafts and couldn't figure out why. And then I figured it out. Alright, and I can't find the other bolts. Golly, here we go, found it. Have I mentioned that I actually hate working under cars like this? Because you just can't, you don't have room. I remember I had to do this years ago. I worked flat on my back like this for probably 30 something years of my life. And then one day I said, I'm buying a lift. And actually, my father, God bless him, bought one for me. And I still have that lift he bought me some 20, 30 years ago. She's pretty worn out, but she works. Alright. Here we go. Finally. It's only a temporary fix, unfortunately. Because, oh, golly, I can't reach anything. Because there's no clips in there to hold it in on a permanent basis. But we can we will be able to move the car, at least momentarily. There's many ways to do this. You know, like I said, you can use a bastard joint. I think that's the easiest way. And or you can cut and change the yoke on the drive shaft. That's always an option. There we go. Make sure she's centered. There we go. Oh, I think I pushed it over. I did. That's centered right pretty good right there. Alright, that'll work for a temporary basis. We have got chickens just going crazy out here. Cackling and cackling and cackling. Well, anyway, I had to pull the hose off of here. I told you I was going to fix this before we try to move this thing. I'm going to need brakes, you know. So, I had to find a piece of hose that would fit both of these nipples, and we're going to need to go to about, yep. So we're going to cut this right about, we'll give it a little bit of length. There we go. Alright, now we got to try to work this on here. Oh, that wasn't bad at all. Okay, so there we go. Now I should have brakes. Here goes the fun part. Is starting it up and seeing if it will run, move without crashing. Thank God for instructions. But I probably never found that if I didn't have those instructions for the MSD. So it just goes to show you folks, always save your instructions even once you hook it up, because it has troubleshooting in it as well. I still got PCV issues. Oh yeah, and I still got one little, got to put a little cap on the front of the carburetor too, so hang tight. Here's the moment of truth. Keep my foot on the brake just in case.
Wow. Woo! Hee-haw! From here, I'm going to move it out, get it out of the way. We're going to start on another project. Maybe we'll get to this next week. I've got to give him a call. I've got to get some, I got to buy a battery because this is my battery. I have to get a battery for it. I'm going to put the air cleaner back on the engine so she'll seal it up so no rats will get in there. And we're going to go ahead and get started on the body work. And if that's where he wants to start, and I'm pretty sure it is. And I hope you liked this this video, Billy, if you're watching. I hope the rest of y'all did too. But that's going to be the end of this video. But there will be others to follow, I promise. For those of you who are big Mopar fans, this is the redheaded stepchild of Mopars. But I like it because it's different. Kind of like the Gremlin. It's different. This thing sounds beautiful. She's got some issues. I noticed that the throttle doesn't have, just the carburetor doesn't have full throttle. I don't know if that's because it's hitting the intake. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Right now we can move it, and I'm happy with that. All right. I don't really understand the whole having to extend. I don't know. But I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the like button. Most of all, please subscribe because that helps me out greatly. Cost you nothing. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. See ya!